Okay, let's get started. When I talk about the energy efficient mortgage, I like to begin with a definition. So let me give you one. An energy efficient mortgage is a government loan program that will allow a home buyer or a borrower, in the case of a refinance, an opportunity to make home improvements to the subject property and finance it into the loan. It's financed 100%, it does not affect qualifying, and it never holds up close. Let me touch on those points because I think they're important. One, I said it's a government loan program. This is VA and FHA only. This is not a conventional loan program. It's also not USDA. So VA, FHA only. It's financed 100%. It does not affect the down payment calculation in the case of a purchase. The down payment would be calculated on the base loan amount, and then we add the energy efficient mortgage improvements to the loan after down payment has been calculated. It does not affect qualifying. So like the down payment, the qualifying ratios based on income and credit will be established, the loan will be approved, and then we can add the energy improvements to that. And lastly, I mentioned it never holds up close of escrow because at this stage we're just arranging the financing. So let me take you through an energy efficient mortgage, and then we'll see if we can get a clearer picture on what I've been talking about. The EEM starts with a HERS rating. HERS is one of HUD's acronyms for a home energy rating system. Think of it as an energy audit. And I use the term HERS rating, HERS audit, energy audit. I use those terms interchangeably. But it's an independent third party who goes to the property and they look at everything about the house that could affect the utility bills. Specifically, we're looking at what we call the Big Five. That is heating and air conditioning, windows, insulation in the attic and the walls, energy efficient water heaters, and lastly something we call an infiltration package, which is weather stripping, caulking, tightening up the envelope of the house to cut down on the leaks and the drafts. The HERS rater, when they go to the property, focusing on those 5 things, they gather information about what is the existing condition of the property. They enter this information into a computer program. The computer will generate the official HERS rating for the subject property. By default, it's going to make some recommendations. For instance, it might say there's not enough insulation in the attic, and they recommend that you increase the insulation. They might recommend that the heating and air conditioning is old and worn out, or the water heater is old and worn out. So you get it. They're gathering information about what's in there. The report will, by default, make some recommendations. Based on those recommendations, we collect bids from local licensed contractors to make the different energy improvements. Then, based on the terms that the lender is quoting, we turn those bids into an amortization. We run them through an amortization table, and we come up with a monthly payment. The HERS report is going to demonstrate what the savings will be to the borrower if they make the different energy improvements. So now we have a savings figure. When we get the bids and we amortize them based on the rate, the terms and rate of the loan, we now have a cost figure. As long as the savings is greater than the cost, the borrower can finance in an FHA loan up to 5% of the appraised value. There are a couple other calculations that need to be done, and I'll talk about those in the mortgage loan portion of the videos. But for now, let's just use a 5% figure. So if a house is $200,000, that gives a borrower 5%, as much as $10,000 for energy improvements that can be added to the loan. So we put together a report, we send it to the borrower, typically by email, and the borrower sees all the different options that are available, what the costs will be, what the savings will be. The important role that we play is that we keep the buyer's choices within guidelines. So we don't exceed that 5% figure, and also the savings must be greater than the cost. And as long as that's the case, the borrower tells us what it is they wish to do. We assemble the necessary documentation for the loan file. We forward that to the loan originator, and at this stage, then, they're just ready to close the loan. So that's how then after close of escrow, we then will work with the borrower and the contractors to see that all the work is done in a timely fashion. Once all the work is done, we see all the permits are pulled and everybody's happy, then we requisition the funds from the bank, bank pays the contractors, and then the contractors will pay our fee, and that's a done deal. So that's a real broad brush overview of the energy efficient mortgage and how it works. Now we're going to break it down and get into some detail. So if you're interested, look for the videos that are focused on the realtor's participation and the video that's focused on the mortgage lender's participation. In the mortgage lending side, we kind of drill down into the loan and how it works, how it fits into the loan program. And on the realtor side, we basically talk about different ways the energy efficient mortgage can help list and sell more properties. So, if you're interested in those videos, please click on those. If you have any questions, please feel welcome to contact us. We're to help you with your next energy efficient mortgage. Thanks.